Hi, how you all doing? Welcome back to our North End Walk, 20 minutes of Preston chat. And of course, we're talking about the pride that came from that Villa performance. We've got Ash, Etienne and Harvey back with us to look back at the end of, effectively, Preston North End season. We'll talk about the players that impressed and the players that didn't. We're also talking about the Fair Play League. Some other fans have suggested Preston are dirty this season. We're looking at whether the stats actually back that up. And looking at the Fair Play League. Also, we're talking about club versus country. Would you sooner North End win the trophy versus England? We will get into that debate in a second. But easy place where to start this week, Ash. Villa Park. Well, the Villa game. Pride. Is the one word we've seen in all social media. Takes up to 60 minutes anyway. Were you proud of that performance?
The performance, for the first 60 minutes, it was good. I thought we did as well as we could with what we had. We got a lot of injuries. I guess you can't really expect too much either against a team like that. I don't think anyone went in thinking we were going to win. But yeah, it was a tough game. But we did all right for, like, say, an hour. But what I was proud of is the crowd beforehand. Before the game started, specifically, we saw the display, and the people that have put into work into getting that sorted is just incredible support. So, I thought we did as well as we could.
Absolutely, yeah. We heard. I don't know how true it was. We heard the story of the piece of paper being blown out overnight, and somebody coming back and putting them all back. So yeah, if you know that guy, let us know in the comments. We'll definitely give him a shout out. Yeah, Etienne, what was your view of it all?
Yeah, proud of the lads for 60 minutes. I thought we really gave them a fight, and then as soon as that first goal went in for Villa, it was kind of, you knew what was coming. You couldn't help but feel slightly disappointed, but at the end of the day, I think we really showed. It didn't feel like a game under. I hate to bring him up again, but Ryan Lowe, where we just sit back the entire game. It felt like we actually tried for half, an hour to try and make something happen, and we just got overdone by better quality players. I was really proud of the lads.
Yeah. Thanks for that, both of you. Harvey, does it excite you a little bit? Because, I mean, you went toe-to-toe with a really decent top half Villa side there with like half the squad missing. Okay, they didn't really show them much, but does it just show you what Hecky could achieve if he's given some funds, if you can get, obviously, the dross of the team out and actually try and do something?
Yeah, definitely. I think I think even one of the players said it in an interview. It's definitely something that can build you with some excitement, because you think if Hecky's been able to do this well and go this far with everything that he's had, and it's not even a team of his players, then you'd like to think that under his own regime and under his own system with stuff that he's able to put into the club, then you'd like to think that maybe in a season or a few seasons that you're able to have the quality to be able to take that extra step. So yeah, as disappointed as I am, it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to for the future. Yeah.
All right, let's look at some social media takes from the game, shall we? Quite a few saying about pride. Louise says, don't mind being beaten fair and square, but when you have to beat the officials as well, it's not on. Fantastic effort from a depleted squad. Should be proud. POM says, back the manager, give him a chance. You've seen what he can do already. The fans are clearly behind the manager. Team and club, just give us something back. Well played. Today on to Derby. And the finally one, Odds says, great to see our young lads getting on at the end too. Now with only a few games left, let's give them more time and see how good they are. And that includes Philippe. Let the planning for next season start now. Let's examine some of those points one by one. Ash, first of all, the officials. I mean, we can't argue really with the penalty at all. But did you think that all the small decisions just went one way?
Yeah, to an extent, yeah. I think it was a Premier League ref, right? So they treated it like a Premier League game. It was quite easy to give away a foul. I felt like the Villa players did make a meal of a few challenges. There wasn't anything major. The one thing that I have seen back today was when their keeper threw it out and it hit Keane's leg. I actually think that probably should have stood in hindsight, and I'm surprised they didn't check that with VAR, considering we had it. If I'm not mistaken, they didn't check anything. But yeah, I said at the time, didn't I? It just seems like they're giving everything to Villa. But I guess we were a bit more rough than them. Maybe you could see it that way. So I guess you can't really moan. You especially can't say it's the fault of the refs that we lost, because they were by far the better team.
Yeah, fair dues. Etienne, this bit about the youngsters coming on, we saw little glimpses of them at the end. Before we get to that point, just clarify where we are in the season. Then we are 10 points off the playoffs. We are 9 points off relegation, with 8 games left to play for at home. So this is probably as mid-table as you can get, isn't it? Are we now, Etienne, for you, just playing now for laughs, so to speak? And do you want to see more of the youngsters, or do we just need to keep an eye on that trapdoor?
I think we need to get 1 or 2 more wins across the line, but we can't really help the fact that we are now officially planning for next season, with the fact that we're going to contend the rest of the season without Woodman and with a lot of injuries. We need to start looking at who we want to keep on, who we want to let go, like really beginning to think about that. I want to see a couple of the young lads start games, get subbed on more for more frequent periods. I think Carroll had an impact. It was good to see Thea Mawen in the squad and on the pitch as well. And, it suggests a lot that Heck is trusting him by putting him on the pitch, on the bench. So, yeah, I think I think we need to beat Stoke and Cardiff, and then we can just say, look, the season's over. Let's play for pride, but let's really, use it to the best of our ability. Try something new, get some players on the pitch who won't be starting.
Okay. Well, you wouldn't believe the number of other teams that have said, when you see the Preston lads, please wish them well for Wednesday against Derby. You've got half of Hull, Oxford, Stoke, Cardiff all cheering you on this week against Derby County. Harvey, but I mean, look, you're not going anywhere now, are you? That Villa game ended your season?
I would have said yeah until I watched the Ben Whiteman interview about an hour ago, and he said that even still, in the fact that we're gonna end up mid-table, the manager is still pushing to be as much in the top end as we can, because we don't want it to be the same mediocrity drab that we're so used to. And I think that just shows like the mental difference from previous managers, and I think that's a massive improvement. So I think the season is probably over in terms of you're not going to go up, you're not going to go down. But if the mindset's there to at least push up as high as you can, then I'm definitely all for it. Yeah.
All right, then we'll leave the Villa game. It's been a decent cup, though. I think we can all agree with that, though, can't we? It's been, there was lots of nice to see the ground full, Ash. Nice to see, the balloons are a bloody nightmare, but the atmosphere before the game. Good to see Deepdale back to what it can be, isn't it?
Yeah, and it did used to, believe it or not, be like that quite often. I think we only had 3 stands at the time, so everybody was pushed together more. But yeah, I thought it was great, and I thought if we could even get maybe 80% of that on a weekly basis, it would just make so much of a difference. Not just to the day out aspect of it, but also like for backing the team. And I think sometimes that can have an effect if the atmosphere is great. It can intimidate away teams. It can push the team on to be a bit better than they are. And I think you do notice that as soon as the crowd go dead silent, the team seem to start playing worse. I've seen that quite often. It's no good playing football in the library, is it, as all the away fans seem to sing to us this year. But just a mentality shift for the players as well as the fans. And I'm hoping that we invest in the summer. We get some exciting players, and that helps improve it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thoroughly enjoyed my day out as well. So thanks for all your hospitality. Good to meet all 3 of you as well. However, back to business now. We are 8 games, as we say, left, and our theme this week we've been looking at is the Fair Play League, because there've been some suggestions, Harvey, that Preston are a little bit on the dirty side. Would you agree with that based on what you've been watching over the last 36 games or so?
I've seen this. I've seen the stat a few weeks ago that I don't know if it's changed, obviously, due to recent fixtures, but we were the team with the most yellow cards. But again, I think we've covered it like in previous episodes, where I don't think it's a dirty thing. I think Ash has mentioned it previously. I think it's just more you getting stuck into teams where, again, in previous seasons we just weren't like that, and I think it's now another mentality shift of actually give it in a go. And if you have to get into a player, then you have to get into a player, and that's how you win games. Being able to be that physical side and being able to get in and around players in whatever means necessary. So I wouldn't say we're a dirty side. I think I've definitely watched games this season where I thought teams have been worse, but yeah, we are definitely up there.
Okay, let's have a look at the stats, shall we? It doesn't make grim reading at all. So yeah, of the 24 teams, 91 yellow cards. Stoke have 2 more, incidentally, but this is 5 reds there, Etienne, that mean that you are not just leading it by a little bit; you're leading it by a country mile. It's probably unlikely to get caught in the next 7 games as well. Does that mirror what you've been seeing, that of all the 24 teams, you have the worst discipline?
Yeah, I do. I think you've really got to find the balance between, aggressive in a good way and aggressive in a bad way. I do think we give away a lot of silly fouls. I think that was kind of underlined by the penalty on Saturday. Hughes sticking out his leg and catching the man and giving away a needless penalty, really. So, yeah, it does mirror what you see. But I quite like it. I like knowing that we can be aggressive. We can be on the front foot when it comes to physicality. And I think that really helps us stand apart from some of the other teams, because you just know that we want it more. It's just finding the balance between, just giving away yellow cards for free. But I'm not surprised we're top. I'm not surprised we're top of that table.
Another reason you're top of that table, Ash, is because of the top 20 players in the whole championship. 4 of them are North End players in the terms of the dirtiest, in terms of fouls given away, yellow cards. Do you want to have a go at seeing if you can guess the top 2?
I think the top one has probably got to be Sam Greenwood.
It definitely is Sam Greenwood. He's the 3rd dirtiest player in the whole championship, behind Amahajovic and Bernard at Wednesday. Yeah. 7 yellows, 1 red.
Woodman's probably on there because of time wasting, right? I don't think that's inherently dirty. I think that does affect our stats. I think we are. Yeah. You saw it at Sunderland, just massive amounts of time wasting. I think we get stupid yellows for that. Greenwood's first yellow before the red card, and in the last time he got booked, I can't remember what game was at Portsmouth. I think that was a stupid yellow for just blocking a free kick. So I think we are inflated by them, but we are probably one of the more physical sides in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. If we carry on down the list, we won't go through all of them, don't worry. But yeah, if we look at, Liam Lindsay there, Harvey at number 11, 5 yellow cards from the 27 games, and Ben Whiteman there, of course, as well as 10 yellow cards from 27 games. So to say, the top 20 players, given how many players are in that list from 24 clubs, that you've got 4 of them, including a goalkeeper, is mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I think when you outline the goalkeeper one, yeah, but like I said, I think it is just a bit of stupidity sometimes, like time wasting and stuff like that. I know a lot of Lindsay's this season have just been being a bit clumsy, or I think someone stepped out of position. He's basically the last defender, so he has to cause a foul. I understand that obviously you've got 4 players on that list, and it automatically looks like you're fouling teams every week. But I think it's just a case of like maybe it's just unlucky, or it's just a few silly mistakes. So I don't think it mirrors the team as a whole in terms of being dirty, so to speak. I think it's just moments of madness is the way I'd put it.
Okay. All right, then. Season's nearly over. Derby and Cardiff next. Etienne, how many points out of there would you take now then?
Have to be 6. I think if those clubs are relying on us to beat the sides around them, you have to be going for 6, because they know they're in trouble. I'm not impressed by either side. I think I'd like to get one over John Eustace purely because he was ex-Rovers, and when it comes to Cardiff, I just don't really rate him, apart from Callum Robinson, because he's having an incredible season, but the rest of them just bang average players, really. So I'd like to beat both of them.
Okay. All right. We'll be here in 7 days' time to review. Certainly the Derby game, of course, midweek as well. Thanks for all that. And finally, we're talking about club versus country, because that international break has reared this argument up again. So the decision is quite simple here. In your lifetime, you can either see England lift the World Cup or North End lift a significant trophy. You can't have both. Harvey, where do you sit on this one?
I was a bit conflicted because obviously I watched like England through all like the major tournaments, and like the buzz you get like when I'm with like all my friends and stuff, and going out and just watching us progress to them later stages, and especially in recent years, like getting to the final and stuff, it just fills you with like a different kind of joy. But I've like for North End, I've supported this club for since I can remember. It was entirely my bloodline. So, and then obviously in recent years we've been labelled as the most boring club as well, and it's just not a nice tag you want to have on your team that you've supported all your life. So, I think it just, as much as I would love to see England win something, and I think the thrill it'd give me, I don't think it'd give me half the adrenaline or the feeling I'd get if I saw North End lift a trophy in my lifetime. So I'll stick with club personally.
Okay. Etienne, I can see you nodding there.
Yeah, it's exactly the same for me. It comes down to one specific day where we played Blackburn. We played Blackburn away, and it was England versus France quarterfinal, and I could only care about the Preston Blackburn game really. And we won that 4-1. It made my day, even though we crashed out of the World Cup. It's a simple answer for me, Preston lifting a major trophy.
Okay. Ash, 3 for 3?
I'm not sure. If it was a Premier League or a Champions League, then it would absolutely Preston. I want to see us win a World Cup solely for the chaos that would happen in the country afterwards. I think I think deep in my heart I'd be happier if Preston won one, but my head's like, I want the chaos. I want to see what happens after that. And I've watched a lot of tournaments, and we've been knocked out generally semi-finals or even group stages at some points, and then we got to finals, and I thought we're finally going to do it, and we've not. So I think just getting one over the line, especially a World Cup. I'm not as asked about the Euros, but if it was a World Cup, I'm picking that.
Okay. Let us know where you stand on this debate. Drop in the comments below. Thanks for sharing your FA Cup journey with us over recent weeks on this podcast. It's been fascinating to talk to you all about it. 8 to go though; it's not over yet, and the playoffs are still on. They're only 10 points away from it. It'd be a miracle, but it could still happen. Not mathematically impossible. See you next week when we, of course, will talk about the Derby game. Have a good one.